Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the Thursday night dilly-dally that we do here. I have with me in the studio the inventor of the chubby chick. No, my friends, it's not the guy from A&W. It's not Colonel Sanders. It's Doug, actually. How you doing, Doug?
Good, good. That's my favorite chubby chick right there, Doo-Doo.
Doo-Doo the Doo-Doo the chicken.
Yeah, he's awesome.
Or it's not a chicken,
D-U-D-U.
it's a chick. It's
It
a
is
baby bird.
correct.
I should not claim it something that it's not.
Yeah,
How many of those do you have?
I don't have many left now. I did a show probably about 20, 25, and I think I'm down to the last 3 or 4. Yeah, it was great, super popular. People love them. Funniest comment I got about it actually was from a neighbor of mine. She's like, "I love that you have body positive little birds."
Little baby birds, body positivity.
Yeah.
What more could you ask for in a iconic piece of art?
I don't know.
I find them iconic because I went to that first Chubby Chick show.
Yeah.
There were so many of them, and I had 2 favorites, and I stupidly didn't get them. I don't know enough about art to feel good about it ever.
Well, the great thing is you're friends with the artist who does commissions.
Hey, that is a good point. And also, if, Doug does commissions, just throwing that out to everybody. He doesn't just do it for me. He does it for literally anybody, as long as they got the Skrilla. That's what we call dollar bills in Canada.
Because that's the first time hearing it.
It's actually not. It's what they call dollar bills somewhere other than Canada.
You see Stan Lee?
Yeah, he's really interested in being a part of the podcast.
He likes audio. Let's make noise.
Here, let's see. I put some new commands in the chat bot, so let's see if my Stanley command actually works. It does. Stanley, Doug's lovely cat Stanley is, well, lovely.
Most days.
Most days. Some days, not so much.
Yeah, like that.
Very interested in the. What are you doing, dude?
It's just sharpening his claws. I actually, you know what? Today I kind of got to the point. I was like, I need to get the claw person in. So I ordered that. So
what's the claw person?
Well, she comes in and she sits on them, and then she holds them down by the scruff of the neck, which I wasn't a fan of at the beginning because I was just like, oh my god, what are you doing, my cats? Trims their nails up and shaves their ass, and they're good to go for a couple months. It's called the foot and fanny.
Oh, well, that does make sense, doesn't it?
Yeah,
That's exactly what they're.
It's a lot of fetishes too. It's kind of wild, right?
Oh, yeah. I bet the footandfanny.com is not what you think it is.
It's not these cats. I'm sure of it. Well, I shouldn't be sure, but I've never gone. I don't know, but I'm guessing it's not.
It's not the cat grooming scenario.
No.
Hey, what's with Mr. Buttocks here? Tell me about what you got going on here.
All right. Well,
and I have a comment. I have a comment after you start.
Okay. So do you want me to start, or do you want to do your comment?
No. I want to talk over you, but I also want you to talk.
Okay. So I don't know which. This feels good, so everyone can see both cameras.
Mm-hmm.
So I've started a new series. Well, I've been working on it for quite a while, but I wanted to do some more figurative style art. That's one of my favorite things, is human anatomy and drawing that. Realistically, always been told, even through art school and whatnot, you can draw the human body, particularly hands and feet. You can draw anything else in the world, no problem. So it's always just something, I guess, that's always stuck with me. So I kind of keep always going back to it sometimes in my art. So even doing figurative drawing, I don't get to do it often enough, and especially now with COVID, it's like I get some Skype sessions here and there, but not really as much as I would like, and it's still a bit different doing it through camera.
Yeah, where they're not live, they're not with you.
Right, but I think you kind of almost just go back to your training, I guess, or your muscle memory, and kind of work that of thinking 3-dimensionally, even though you're looking at something that's 2D essentially. So.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, so I have a series of them on the go, and I really wanted to change up the materials I was using. So I really wanted to work more with like wood paneling and have that be part of the background. It's very much a natural product, but I kind of just think it suits a lot of homes where this could potentially be hung or businesses, whatever. I just really think that's a nice vibe and a feel to kind of offset a lot of the starkness of the glossy black and white, kind of representing the highlights and shadows of the figure. And then I've been using gold leaf to kind of really pop certain areas of these pieces in this series. So in this particular one, he's obviously outside in a like a plastic see-through umbrella, and I wanted the gold leaf to represent a bit of the rain as well as kind of just like the reflection that's there, and just kind of give another element to just another black and white kind of figure drawing.
Oh, cool. I'm gonna put this a little bit bigger on the second cam here, so we can have a look and see if this is actually gold leaf or if you're lying to us.
Oh yeah.
That's neat. So that's actually gold leaf on the wood. How do you make it stick?
You actually use an adhesive meant for gold leaf. So I actually like paint it on with a brush, and then we'll take the foil, put it on, and then kind of play with it. And it's quite brittle, the foil. I don't know if you've ever played with it before. It's not like tin foil. It's almost like becomes like dust. So then I just kind of like muck it around and play with it a bit, and then kind of wear a glove when I do it because the oils.
And is it at the bottom here too?
Yeah, down here, kind of like what I want to play with tonight is like the rain's bouncing.
Yeah, you can sort of see it a little bit better in the bottom left on this.
And maybe if I like tilt it a little, is that feeling good to you?
Yeah, no, that's cool. And so I had mentioned this piece, I don't know, episode 2 or 3, and you had like an open section where his head was, and it looks like you've managed to close it off without mucking up his face.
Yeah, the look I'm going for here is that, remember, like, I don't know, maybe they're still popular, but see-through umbrellas.
Yeah, I know exactly, like the God, there's like, I think Austin Powers, like it's a 70s
yes
umbrella, right?
Like my mom had one. I thought it was just the coolest thing as a kid because I could like walk around and see through it. So, oh, this is great. I didn't go anywhere, but I just thought it was a cool umbrella.
Yeah, it's so that you don't walk into poles or whatever.
Exactly. So, you know, when you're outside and it's pouring rain and you're naked and you don't want to run into any poles, this is kind of the story behind this one.
Cool. So what are you going to do today?
I'm going to add some more accents with white paint. I'm going to use my palette knife to bring in more representation of the rain falling. And also I want to play with a bit more of the rain kind of bouncing here at the bottom near his feet and kind of just add more highlights to that. Give it a bit more life.
So are you doing that with titanium white? And then also, are you using gold leaf tonight, or are you just
no,
some white down so that you can?
Yeah, it's kind of adding in more of the like the highlights. With gold leaf, for me, the way I like to do it, I would never do it standing up. I'd have it flat and.
Oh yeah, that makes sense.
And then kind of have it so it could like adhere to the wood that way, because
otherwise it'd be all over the floor and not in your Goldschlager.
Right, because I don't have that or drink that. But yeah, it's true.
Have you never had a Goldschlager?
Yeah, for sure. I like cinnamon hearts.
Always like, well, that's exactly what it tastes like, right?
Yeah.
This tastes like Valentine's Day.
If it only had a taste.
I think that's the taste it would have if it had a taste.
Yeah.
That or glue. Because I remember when you're in like primary, you always had to make Valentine's Day cards, and there's always glue around.
Now, did you give Valentine's Day cards to everyone? Or were you kind of strategic or, dare I say, like, particular about it?
No, shotgun approach. You give them to everybody.
Nice. I like that approach.
Yeah, because I didn't really have a lot of prospects. Not that I was an ugly kid.
Right.
I was quite handsome as a child as well.
Yeah. I mean, it holds up.
Yeah, as I get older, I'm just getting more and more handsome.
Yeah.
It's just I'm chubby handsome now.
There's a market for that.
Hey, you know what? There is nothing wrong with that at all. Being chubby handsome is, you know, you need a little bit more personality and you need to be able to make somebody laugh.
And luckily, you do that in spades.
Spades.
Yeah. Oh, is that not the right thing to say?
No, it is. It's
okay.
Very nice of you to say.
Oh, okay.
You know, but you know, I just was like giving it some punch.
like the Kool-Aid guy coming through the wall.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that's totally what he said.
Oh my God, that would be a good. Yeah, you know what? I'm not gonna say that idea out loud just because.
You know, that's age and wisdom coming through there for you.
It's not that it was questionable.
Oh,
it was that it was a good idea, and you know, if I'm going to use it, I'd like it to be more of a surprise than some foreshadowing. You know?
Yeah. Wow. Every good storyteller has some foreshadowing.
So one of the things that I was gonna bring up tonight, and you kind of alluded to it in your introduction to what you're working on now, when you're talking about visualizing 3D space on a 2D surface.
Yeah.
In mathematics, it's basically called like you're taking a projection and you're projecting the geometry of one object onto the plane of another object. And you can do this in many dimensions, but obviously the one that works for art is the 3:2.
Yep.
And it goes along with the subject that I wanted to bring up tonight and just sort of touch on, because I don't want to get too deep into it because I can probably talk for quite a while and get kind of like taken away from the mathematics side of things, not the art side, but is the relationship between math and art and how closely related they are.
Yeah.
And people assume, like, when you're going through school and you're either one or the other and there is no crossover, but math appears in art all over the place.
Music is art. Music is art, but music is math too.
Yes, math is definitely in music.
Yeah, I mean, even if you're blending, say you're taking, I want a particular shade of gray, I have to know how much white versus black when I'm mixing them to get that proper shade that I'm looking for.
Mm-hmm. Well, it's almost like you have an intuitive sense of mathematics when you can do that projection of 3D to 2D.
Mm-hmm.
You see a lot of certain mathematical concepts in a lot of art. I mean, the most famous is obviously the golden ratio. Everybody is, you know, not everybody, but a lot of people will cite this as that crossover between mathematics and art, and you see it a lot in classic art. Do you ever think about that when you're, you know, conceiving of the way that you're going to lay something out, or conceiving of the way that you're going to what's the word? Layout is wrong.
Just like composition?
Yeah, composition.
Yeah.
You're thinking of your composition.
Yeah, I mean, it's in everything. Like definitely in art, but I mean, even tonight, like I was kind of playing around with the cameras. Like, what's the best composition to show what we want to show tonight? So, you know, this camera here is in a certain strategic place because I want people to see from that certain angle and see those details. So again, yeah, kind of knowing, you know, one thing I just thought of too is like sometimes you'll start a character. So for this guy, you know, he's here to here. But I knew there was going to be extra things going on below the umbrella above. And sometimes if you're not careful, you can go off screen. So if that's not planned, you know, you could have your head too high and then you have the right proportions, but the feet might end up being here at this level, and then you get all this empty space down here where maybe, usually for figures, in order for them to be believable, you kind of want them to have weight. So you would have that weight closer to like if this is your frame of an image, you want your weight close to the bottom so it feels that way. But also too, in the sense of how sometimes artwork gets hung or placed, that there's more openness to the top generally than the bottom, because sometimes it might go behind a couch, or it might go behind a plant, or it might go like above a shelf. So you don't want to put. I mean, you can put as much detail as you want in the bottom, but it's sometimes there's competition there based on where it's going to live.
Right.
So yeah, it's math and figuring that out, and kind of too like just like think about like what's the attitude of the character. So in this one here, like he's enjoying himself. He's happy to be out in the rain. Like he's like maybe he just I don't know what he got done doing. Maybe he just made an awesome dinner and he's like it's beautiful out, tropical rain's coming down. I'm just gonna go out and just enjoy that and be at one with nature. And it's a set looking up and kind of just like taking a deep breath and kind of like, it looks like he's feeling good. So I think that's kind of part of it. So in that regard, I kind of have to think about what's the twists in the shoulder versus the hips, the kind of playfulness here in his calf where he's pushing himself forward, like he's all pushing that into the twist. And that's just understanding anatomy is part of it too. But if that's not the right pose for the tone, it can look weird or be misinterpreted. Sorry.
Yeah, I locked on to him being happy that he's out there, and I was thinking like, if I had a banging butt like that, I'd be happy too.
Oh my God, wouldn't you just be like, I'm going to get the mail?
Wow, jeez. Look at these butt cheeks. I could crush walnuts with this.
Yeah.
Bounce a quarter off this thing. Let's go to the mail.
Yeah. Follow me around. It's fine. The view's amazing.
Some of those things that you're talking about, I mean, I think these come instinctively to certain artists, and I think that like trying to explain, from look, I have no inherent artistic talent, so I would be approaching something like this if I were to be learning or trying to figure this out. I would be approaching it from what I know, which is more of a scientific, mathematical sense of things, and looking at some of these pieces of art with a mathematical mind, you can sort of see, okay, well, there's big squares and little squares. You can definitely see this when somebody's doing a sketch and they're putting a circle and then a big circle and then like two little circles, and then you're like, what are they doing? And then eventually it's like, oh, that's a friggin' person, and it was just at the beginning circles. So that's sort of like geometry is kind of, it seems for artists, intuitive.
Yeah.
Where as a mathematical minded person, I would be measuring that stuff. I'd be like, well, it's got a, so when you talk to artists about math, they just go, oh, it's not math. It's just I just do it. It's like, it is math. You just do it so quickly in the back of your mind. It's not like a,
it is math, and you're absolutely right. I think what may be different for the different mindsets and the perceptions is someone in that moment of creating might not be so hung up on the end result. So it doesn't have to be perfectly a quarter of an inch. And it's that, and that's where maybe the quote unquote artistic impression comes in, because that's the fun of it. Like, it doesn't have to be perfect. It just has to tell the story or make the mark that you're looking for. Now, I think there's definitely artists out there who do work to precision, and I think that
especially
really
back in the olden days, right? Because you look at somebody like Da Vinci, who is mathematic based, but also back then these disciplines weren't so separated.
Correct.
Like, people didn't like go, oh, well, I took art in school, and somebody else was like, I took math. It's like, oh, you just took school, like
right. Yeah.
And so there wasn't that, and then there also wasn't that stigma around math. Like people, quote unquote, hate math, and then I can see them using it. It's like I see you don't hate math. I see you using it.
No, I remember my nephew, like, or my brother telling me, like, his son was like in high school. It was, we go through it, like, I don't like math. I'm never going to use math. I don't need math. And he just laughed. He's like, come on. What part of your day does not involve math?
Yeah, it's everywhere.
How much milk do you put in your cereal? Take it away.
It's interesting. It's everywhere. I think one of those funny ones too from back in the day was, and I'm sure you have been told this before. There's no calculators on the test because you're not going to have a calculator in your pocket.
We do now.
We all literally have a calculator in our pocket.
Yep. Don't need any words without it. Don't even go take that to the bathroom so you can calculate stuff in there.
Absolutely. Yeah. What's the weight of that? Oh, and then how much do I weigh? Oh my God, that was 12% of my weight. That was a big one. Talking about poop, ladies and gentlemen. Poop.
I was tracking. Yeah, thank you. Yeah.
Oh, okay. I just didn't think you were tracking because you weren't laughing. So I had to explain the joke. And if you have to explain the joke, that means it's funnier.
Yeah, that's what I've heard from you.
Absolutely not true at all.
That's better. So I'm getting close to these ones getting done. I kind of want to move on to a new series of them. Something else.
And so this series is based on what, figure drawings or wood drawings? Wood paintings?
It's more about using new materials together that I haven't used before and kind of looking for a new end result. Sorry, I cut you off.
No, I cut you off, and then I stopped and let you finish.
Thank you.
So the intergalactic hussy that we were doing, that you were doing last week.
You were totally part of the process, buddy. It's like she wouldn't be who she is without you.
I'm selling myself into the art here.
You're looking for a commission, I see.
Yeah, well, that's part of the same series because she's also on wood, but it's different wood.
Yeah. No, the intergalactic hussies are another universe all unto themselves.
Right. This is figure drawings on different materials.
Yeah. Which, by starting this, got me thinking I'd like to do that same approach, but with more color and fantasy and things like that with those characters.
It's fun to see.
It is fun. When you say it.
So what kind of wood is this? Is this different than the kind of wood that Grace was on last week?
No, I believe it's all birch.
Birch. Did you stain this piece? Because it looks darker than the other one.
Yeah, I stained it with a dark black stain. But I made it more translucent, I guess. Because I didn't want it to be like too dark. I just wanted it to be almost like a mid-tone of what's going on. And I wanted that mid-tone of the wood to actually come through the figure, as you can kind of see here, as part of the body as well.
Yeah, it's cool, and you can see the wood grain, and that tone does make it seem like a gray, rainy day. So that makes sense.
Thanks.
It's all coming together, man.
Thank you. It's I think it's. I'm happy with where we're going.
So let me ask you something. Let's. I'm gonna get away from mathematics because I know that that's not everybody's bag. Mm-hmm. So let's go the other way and talk about. I want to talk about sports a little bit.
Okay.
But a very specific sport because I only really follow one sport.
Yeah.
And that sport, my friend, is hockey.
Yeah.
So for those that don't know or don't care, I'm going to tell you anyway.
That's fair.
Hockey is back. It started not too long ago. Last week, I guess.
Yeah, I think we're a week in.
There's it's a 52 game season.
56.
56 game season. That's what I meant.
No, I'm helping.
I know. I was gonna say that's what I said, but I didn't say it, and I was like, well, I'm not gonna lie to his face
Or my ears.
or your back, I guess, because you're not facing.
Sorry.
Anyway, 56 game season, and it's on TV. There's 115 straight nights of hockey.
Really? I didn't realize that.
So if you're a hockey fan, this is like in the summer when they did when they finished last season.
Yeah.
And they did it in the summer, and it was in August, September, right?
Yeah.
August, September, October. And they basically went straight to the playoffs with a bit of a preliminary round, but it was that same thing. It was like, I remember coming in after swimming. It's like 1:00 in the afternoon, and I could watch 4 games of hockey that day.
Yeah, that was crazy. It was like having the Olympics on when it was like in Asia, because all the games were on in the afternoon. It was awesome.
Yes, exactly. And anytime you want to watch hockey, there's hockey on. So
Right.
it's interesting this time too. And I mean, I think you might need one of the NHL packages or a decent way to stream it. But even on like regular cable, there's a game every day.
Yeah.
So it's good. If you're a hockey fan, there's tons of hockey to be watched.
Yep. No, it's great.
Have you caught any games so far?
Not a one. I'm big on the stats because I like hockey pools more than I like watching hockey. I mean, I still like watching hockey, but I kind of like watching it more when it's important, like the playoffs or whatnot.
Well, don't you find that the hockey pool makes it important?
No, because the stats tell me everything.
Oh, you're not watching. So I can't be in hockey pools because I can, but I spend too much time obsessing over them, and then I want to watch all the games where my guys are in.
Yeah.
And like cheer them on, like score, you bastard! Put it in the net.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's. I get that. We've been in a hockey pool before.
I did lose to you. Okay, this is what happened. Can I tell this story right quick?
Yeah, sure.
This is like, I think the first or second hockey pool we were in together. And all season, there was only really 3 or 4 of us in contention at the top. And Doug and I were always at the top. And then I went to bed at the last day of the hockey pool. I had Ben Bishop, and he was playing for the Lightning at the time. And he got a shutout, and he got 5 points. And it put me ahead of Doug by 1 point at the end of the night. So at the end of the night, I'm going to bed. I'm like, I won the hockey pool. This is amazing. I'm going to get $27 or whatever the hell it was.
Sounds about right, yeah.
I think it was like 150 or something. But and I went to bed, and I'm like, oh, my God, thank God. All this like agonizing over my lines and like trading people left and right and whatever is going to be great. And I get in the next day and I look, and I think it was like 2 weeks before there was a correction. And so I actually lost to Doug by 1 point. I lost 2 points.
And was it Ben Bishop that lost you the points?
No, it was 2 different players that they had either given an assist or a goal to.
Right.
And it was 2 players, and it was like a week later. Like,
yeah, it was weird. It
was like so far in the past. I'm like, they couldn't have figured that out earlier. Like, why does it have to be after the season is over? And I thought I won. And I'm like, I'm a winner. And I get into work. No, you're not. You're not.
I remember that quite well, yeah, because it was like I didn't anticipate that outcome either. I was like quite happy with I came in second until I realized I was amazing.
You came in first.
Yeah,
and I felt robbed, but also I was like, well, if anybody's gonna beat me, at least it was somebody who was actually playing their lines, and B, you, a friend.
Me. Yeah. Thank you for being a friend.
Thank you for being a friend. Never forgiven you for that.
No, that's fine. Some people are built to hang on to stuff, you know?
That's not me. That's not me.
No? It's some people.
It could be me. I don't know. I don't know what I'm like. I just have to
No.
live with myself every day.
Yeah. It's all right. Someone's got it.
We only know so much about ourselves. I don't know how other people see me.
Well, it's kind of funny. I'll tell you about my hockey pool if you have a minute.
I
So,
absolutely have a minute.
so I'm in a hockey pool now that I've been in for 20 some years. It's been a magical thing, really, because when I was in animation school, one of the, I don't know what his role was at the time, but we're still friends. But he kind of like sent students to other countries once they were done school, like kind of an exchange program. So anyway, we just figured out we both were into hockey and got talking, and then he was like realizing how busy he was, and then he was like, "Oh, well, this guy's young and gives a shit about hockey. Maybe I should just have him on my team so he can help me pick the right players to draft." So we became friends, and then we've stayed friends ever since. We're in this pool together, so it's kind of really kept that friendship alive, which is kind of amazing. Otherwise, you'd really just drift apart, and that's life. Um, so for the past 20 years, we've gone literally to Fredericton, which is, I don't know, 4 hour drive from here. Mind you, I haven't always lived that far away at the time, but yeah, drive up there, literally hang out with a bunch of dudes 25 years my senior and up, who've been in this pool for 40 years. A few other younger guys have come in over time, but it's just kind of amazing that we're still kind of together and doing this. So, and it's a keeper league, so you keep 5 forwards, 2 defensemen, a goalie, and another player of your choice, and then the rest of the players go back into the pool, and then at the draft,
like year to year?
Yeah, and you don't have to keep the same players every year, but you just whatever you pick that first of the season. At the end of the year, you choose who you're going to keep going into the next season. So, there's a lot of trade activity, and you need to know the personalities, and then so it's kind of like a double tie-in because we had our draft last night, and for the first time ever, it was virtual because they're in the red zone, so no one's hanging out in public at all. And it actually went really well. It went super good for a bunch of people who didn't know much about technology. And yeah, it actually was pretty fun, but it's like all of the prep that goes into it. Like I spent 5 hours probably coming up with my list of players, and then talk with my buddy, and we go over his list versus my list, and kind of like compare those and put that together into a must-have list and kind of things. And it's just it's so we laugh at ourselves, and we're like, we don't get this excited for much else, and doesn't mean anything. You pay $45 to play. You only win money if you land in the first 3 spots, and that rarely happens. But it's just great fun. And yeah, I kind of always wonder like how people see me. Like you were saying that too. I was like, I don't know if these guys think I'm a nice guy, or I think whatever they think.
It's interesting that you're mentioning like, this is probably the only thing keeping you guys communicating and friends, like because people do drift away, and I've had a lot of great. There's an interesting tweet that was. I wonder how many old coworkers, or I miss a bunch of my old something to that effect. Is just like I've worked with some amazing people that realistically should be friends for life, but it's just like people come in and out of your life.
Yeah, it's true.
But it's nice to have something to rally around, like your hockey pool.
Yeah,
you say
absolutely.
It's been running for 20 years. How many times have you come in first?
Once, and we tied with another team, so it was very weird too. Like literally shared it with another team, and that's it. Only one time that I've been there. Now he's won it before, like I came on board, so maybe 30 years ago he won. But yeah, it's not an easy one to win.
So is there a bunch of different ages in this thing? Because it sounds like those guys are older.
Oh my God, yeah. I'm one of the younger. And now I think the youngest guy is one of those guys' grandsons. So they're a team now, the two of them.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, it is really cool.
That
Yeah.
yeah. Be like, oh, grandfather, grandson. Is there a clear team that's consistently winning, or is
No,
it
it's different.
very and how many teams are in this?
20.
Oh, it's a huge pool.
Yeah, yeah,
Who's your
yeah.
best player this year?
Right now, Drizidal.
Yeah. Do you have any
So
Leafs on your team?
I do. I have Nylander and I have Anderson in that.
Oof, Anderson's gonna be a rough one for you.
Yeah. But that's yeah. So yeah, Drizidal, Line A, Ehlers, Dubois.
Oh, Dubois. Yeah.
Yeah. Who's my other guy? Drizidal. We picked up Neckus. We picked up Dvorak. And we picked up Ty Smith, good rookie defenseman in New Jersey. And then the other defensemen we have are Dumba, Ellis, and Hronik. And then we grabbed Eric Brandstrom for the future. And then as a backup goalie, grabbed Marc-Andre Fleury with the last pick of the pool.
Oh, that's pretty good, actually.
Yeah, because if Leonard gets hurt, then at least he's in front of a good team.
I know it's such a weird thing, that whole switch up.
Yeah.
That's I was not surprised, but just surprised because Leonard has not. He didn't do well in Ottawa, and then he bounced around a bunch.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And it's like he finally, I don't know, got his groove or something. It was very interesting to see him.
I think he had some anxiety issues or something, and he got a lot of help with that in the New York Islanders. And then whatever he had learned there, he carried off to Chicago and had like another really good season. And then here he is now with Vegas.
Yeah, doing really good.
Yeah.
Or he did well last year anyway.
Yeah, totally.
So Nylander scored a couple goals in that first Toronto game.
Yeah, he's great.
I think he's a bum, honestly.
I like. He's no winner, but
he doesn't work. Look, he can shoot the puck. He doesn't work. He doesn't skate. He doesn't back check. He doesn't check. He won't dig in the corners. He doesn't. He's not a team player. I just like, yeah, he scores some goals, but honestly, that's the only thing he brings to the team. Not that that's like, not that that's not valuable.
It's important.
It's important, but Matthews and Marner and Tavares can score too.
Yeah.
It's just I watch a lot of Leafs games. Leafs is my team, so I watch a lot of Leafs games, and he makes me so angry. I'm like, skate, get on your horse and ride.
Wow. I haven't watched hockey with you before, other than in person. We did go to a game in Toronto together, and that was great fun.
Yeah, and we went to a couple Mooseheads games as well.
Oh yeah. Are you going to the women's hockey if it ends up coming here?
If it ends up coming here, absolutely. That's good hockey.
Yeah,
that's really
it's
good
great.
hockey.
Yeah, absolutely.
And it's very exciting. I mean,
well, it's all skill. It's all skill.
Yeah, and we all, there's some games that are boring because we absolutely destroy most teams. But if you can get, and this is what they do with the packages too, is they usually give you a Canada-US game.
Yeah.
If you buy a big enough package, because they know that that's the game that you're really there to see, because that's good hockey.
Yeah.
So yes, if we can go see games, absolutely.
Yeah, cool. Okay. We'll do it.
Yeah, did we go together to see the men's when it was here? Was that
I don't
you?
think so.
Were you with me?
No.
I saw a bunch of those games, bought packages for those, and I was ice level.
Oh, nice.
And of course, they're all the guys, all the players are walking around Halifax.
Yeah.
And at that point, I worked downtown. Oh yeah, so I wouldn't have met you yet.
No.
At that
no.
point, I worked downtown, and like you're just walking down the street, it's like, why are there so many giants around? Like, you don't sort of get the feeling, you don't understand how big they are because they're all big. So when you're watching it on TV, or even when you're watching it live and you're a bunch of rows back, you don't really get that feeling. But if you see like 7 of them walking towards you on a sidewalk, you're like, oh my god, I'm gonna get destroyed here.
Yeah, for sure. No, it's crazy. They're big boys.
Big boys. I'm liking the droplets. It's looking good, Doug.
Thanks. I feel I'm at a point where I'm just gonna let it be. I'm not gonna move forward. I don't want to. It's hard to undo. I'll tell you that.
Yeah. So I mean, we were talking about this a little bit last week about knowing like when to be done.
Yeah.
And how that's like a hard thing to sort of gauge.
Yeah, it can be.
I know that my mom does a little bit of watercolor.
Oh yes, yep.
And she's pretty good, but she has this one painting, and it's of this man who's smoking a pipe, and he's got all this like, it's so good, but it's unfinished, and she won't finish it. And
Why?
She can't finish it because she's now, it's so good that she's like, I don't know how I did this. And I don't want to finish it because she's afraid that she's going to wreck it if she works on it. And so it's literally sat unfinished for years because she doesn't want to like ruin it. And I can understand that fear.
Yeah. Can I give your mom some advice?
Absolutely.
I don't even know your mother's name. What's her name?
Lynn.
No, it's not.
Yes, it is.
That's my mother's name.
Lynn?
Linda.
My mother's name is Lynn. Lynne.
Oh, okay. It's a little different then. Close, but a little different.
Well, there's no duh.
There isn't, but let me tell Lynn, from one artist to another, she's done. There's no need to go back. The thing is, you get to determine when it's done. And if that's her style of like a bit unfinished, I'm kind of really loving things that are a bit unfinished. And you let the viewer fill in the gaps. Big fan of that. So
you know what? That is some great advice. If you're
Lynn, go buy yourself a frame. Put it in a frame. You're done.
Put it in a frame. You know what? I'll buy her a frame. That's what I'm gonna do.
Yeah.
That's a really great Mother's Day gift.
Here's a frame to put your painting in that you finished 4 years ago.
It's probably been longer. I don't actually know how long it's been.
So it's definitely done. She's done.
Yeah, she's done. She's done. I think she feels bad about it, you know, like you're.
Why?
Yeah, I don't know.
Look at this over here. Look at this. Look at that.
What is it?
Two adorable fur balls.
Oh yeah, they're not on their chaise.
No, maybe she's got the big stretch going there. She's gonna shift around.
Very good looking cats. So what are you gonna work on next?
Next, I'm going to work on. We were talking about this earlier about commissions. So I got a commission out of Ireland of about doing a painting for this person's mom. This person's mom is turning 60. They're from Peru, but moved here to Nova Scotia 17 years ago, and would love for me to do a rendition of her mom's childhood home in Peru. So she's sent me over some photos as reference. And what I'm going to do next is kind of figure out what layout, what perspective, and what composition would make sense. And then I'm going to take that sketch, show it to the client, see if they kind of like this vibe. And then my next steps from there would be to, in Photoshop, kind of mock it up on different sizes of canvases to kind of see, does this feel better as more of a longer canvas, taller, square, whatever shape that kind of makes sense, and then go from there and kind of choose sizing based on where it's going to live in her mom's place. So yeah, that's kind of like the next steps. But the fun part is too, is I can start thinking about like, sure, these are the realistic colors that you gave me. Totally could be super hyper realistic. The house is kind of like a orange terracotta, you know, but maybe the whole thing could be just different tones of purple, for example. So the sky, the trees, the house, everything, but you can kind of just like do whatever. So like if that's the best color to suit the space where this painting's gonna live, it's like kind of fun to play with that too. So it's just really nice to work with a client closely on what they want the story to be, and then I kind of get to ask questions like, you know, like, did you have an annoying neighbor that kept running through the yard that you'd want in this painting because that would make your mom laugh? Or did you have like a funny pet or some weird birds that always showed up or something? Who knows? And turns out there's some like bizarre birds that would always kind of come seasonally and hang out, and her mom really liked them. So I'll incorporate those. So I'll just do some research on what those are, what they look like, and work it in.
Cool. So what are you gonna? You're just gonna do the initial sketch of like composition and that sort of thing at the
Exactly. Yeah.
right now.
Yeah. I'm just gonna switch over, bring my drawing pad over to this easel.
Okay. While you do that, I'm gonna get myself another drink and take a bathroom break. I'll be right back if you want to entertain the peoples.
Sure. Yeah. So has anyone ever got a painting commission before for a family member or as a gift? Be kind of cool to know what the story was behind that and kind of understand like what the rationale was too, because I've certainly done other ones that a few years ago was really great. It was a family cottage, but the grandparents were getting to a point where they felt they needed to sell it because there wasn't enough time in the summer for all the grandkids to get their time there. So one of the kids was like, I'd love to have this painting because we're going to end up selling it as a family, and no one in the family is allowed to buy it because then it would just be a point of contention. So yeah, it's kind of interesting to kind of see why people, what their rationale and the reasons are for getting different things painted. And I always just hang out my wet paintings because those two over there will rub up against it, and then I'll get cat hair in it. That's never the multimedia I'm necessarily going for. But the cool part about that painting about the cottage was initially the person who commissioned it, she was planning on getting like a VW bus and driving down to Mexico from Canada, and wanted that to be able to fit in the space of the bus. Because initially she wanted it for her bedroom, like huge painting of it, and then her life plans changed and was like, I need something mobile and transportable. So yeah, it was pretty cool to kind of work on the different scopes, because initially it was going to be quite large. So to scale that back was kind of fun too. So part of the process for me is kind of like, I just printed these off. There's a couple references. Actually, I'll probably put them in here. So that's the house. I believe that's her mom there sitting. And that's just another front angle of the house there as well.
Is that tree in their yard?
It is, and that's actually one thing that the client had asked me to get rid of. She was like, I don't want it. Because obviously it takes away from
Like
from
chop
the
it
house.
down?
If I could, yeah, exactly. With my
Where's the house? Spain?
Peru.
Peru.
Mm.
Why did I think Spain?
Maybe you get Spain on the brain.
It's possible.
So for me, I kind of always like this front on one to me is rather boring. It's not really exciting to me. It's just pretty flat. very angular, and this tree is kind of obstructing everything. This here is a lot more kind of depth and dimension and angles, and it's just a hell of a lot more
Can you bring it a
interesting.
little closer?
Absolutely. How's that feel?
Feels good.
Yep. And she said,
Yeah,
well,
there's a bunch of angles there.
yeah, and she said, you
I
know,
like
as
that other
kids-
tree though. I like. Sorry, I cut you off there, but
No, that's what you do. She said, like, the parents would always like sit on this bench or this stone wall, and the kids would always play out here. So I was like,
are
oh,
you
you
allowed to
want
keep that tree on the left?
this one? I believe so. Yeah, it's just this one. That's which
Yeah,
it
because
is a
then you'd be
problem.
painting the tree and not the house.
That's right.
Yeah.
And she didn't live in a tree, from my understanding.
Well, that's unfortunate. Living in a tree is fun. Have you ever been to Peru?
Never for you.
No. I think it'd be
Would
cool.
you go? Yeah.
Would I go? Absolutely.
Yeah. I love it.
I like some of the food.
Yeah, yeah. I think you'd like all the food.
Yes. Yes, I would. A lot of hot and cold stuff.
Is it a lot
A
of
lot
cold
of
there?
spices. What's
I would
that?
imagine, yeah, I would imagine it's quite flavorful. I don't
Yes.
know if it would be super hot spicy with it, or I don't know.
Isn't
feel like-
it,
Yeah, this music seems quite appropriate. Kinda
there's
fun.
like well, ceviche usually has a little bit of, you know?
That's true. Yeah, I like that. Big fan.
They eat guinea pig?
Um,
Taradito?
hmm
Raw fish?
Yeah.
Kind of like sashimi,
Oh yeah.
and then like sauce on it, usually a spicy sauce. So yeah,
Okay.
lots of spicy, lots of fish.
Yeah, yeah. Cool.
I do love a ceviche.
Yeah, I'm with you on that. Are you a big beef
You know-
tartare?
I like beef tartare. I'll
Yeah.
eat beef tartare. I would
Yeah.
rather a ceviche than beef tartare, but
Gotcha.
yeah, I don't know about rather actually. I mean, put me in any, put it in front of me, I'll eat it.
That's fair.
There are very few things that I can't find some enjoyment in,
Yeah. Well, you're a man of pleasure.
Yes, I do like my food-based pleasures. Oh, this looks good. Antichucho.
Mm-hmm.
It's like a kebab, a spicy meat kebab. Looks like street food. Oh my God, I would eat the crap out of that. How many would you like, sir? I'll have 7. Is this for a family of 4? No, it's for me.
Yeah. I like it.
Grilled beef heart. Oh, that sounds good.
I made lamb hearts the other year. People thought I was disgusting, but I stuffed them and they were tasty.
So it's very interesting because a lot of these organ meats, they're delicious. They're absolutely delicious. They're full of flavor. The
Mm-hmm.
only one that I can't really get behind is beef liver. Never been a fan of beef liver.
Okay.
Can't do it. And it's probably because my parents would eat it and my mom would cook the crap out of it till it was disgusting.
What was it about our mothers that just cooked meat until it was like rubber?
Rubber, and then did things like boiled chicken,
Right.
not for soup, for the meat. It's like, what are we having tonight? We're having boiled potatoes with boiled chicken. Is it seasoned at all? No.
No. No.
No salt. Yeah. I mean, come on. It's funny because once I learned how to cook, I'm like, oh, this has opened up a whole world for me.
Oh, I like food now. My mom watches this. I shouldn't say too much. But baking? Whew. Did my mom bake? Is your mom a big baker?
So there are definitely things that like I shouldn't give my mom too much shit here.
Right, yeah.
I just the boiled potatoes with the boiled chicken was not my favorite of dinners, but
Well, to be fair,
her great.
we would have boiled chicken because my mom was always on Weight Watchers, so it was like low cap.
Sure.
Yeah.
And it was supposed to be healthy. It's just
Right.
like there's, you know what this tastes like? Gray. It tastes like the gray that it looks like.
Yeah, it's a great analogy.
But my mom makes amazing Yorkshire pudding
Oh,
and amazing gravy, like amazing gravy. So Christmas and stuffing. Those are the three things that I'm just like, she's shown me how to do these things and I still can't do it. There's still something that's not there.
But you want to know what? I think a smart mom never gives away all her secrets.
Maybe, but I mean, come on.
Not until it's over. Like when they're like, I got a week left. Here's how you make scrambled eggs.
But I've been there when she's made it, and like.
Yeah, but she probably stepped into the pantry for a hot second.
Yeah. Could you go grab me some more of this?
Yeah.
It's like, then that's when she puts it in. It's like, damn. Yeah, her gravy and stuffing are just like. If I made her the last 2 years that she's actually cooked, I've made her make a whole other pan of stuffing.
Yeah.
So that I can take it home.
That's great.
And it's not as good as the stuff that's in the turkey.
Right. Yeah.
But it's still good. And I think some of the secrets are there's lots of celery, lots of onions, wild rice.
Yeah.
Is a big thing.
Okay.
And I think that's only a Canadian thing, right?
Wild rice?
Wild rice and stuffing.
I don't know. I mean, I don't know that I've had that, really. But that sounds like Uncle Ben's had something to do with that. Was there, like, some
Because
commercial?
Uncle Ben's is not wild rice. Wild rice is, like, what you get from... Like, it's wild in Canada, wild rice.
Oh.
The big black sticks, you have to soak them overnight.
Yeah.
And they kind of puff like popcorn a little bit when you cook them.
They puff when you eat them.
Yeah, eat them. Can we go back to Peru for 1 second here?
Anytime, buddy.
Yeah. So I just wanted to bring this up because I'm sort of looking at some of these things and I'm so hungry now. Also, I want to talk about this drink in a second, but they have they eat guinea pig?
Yeah, you mentioned that for a little bit.
Split second, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, they do like they like farm them for food.
Oh. What's this? Okay, tell me more. I'm just gonna.
They're usually cooked whole. They're usually cooked whole, often grilled, sometimes deep fried.
Uh-huh.
They literally eat every part of it.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, even its teeth.
Oh.
It's like, what's this hard bit? Oh, that's its tooth. Oh, man. Apparently, they're delicious because they're a delicacy. Yeah, grilled guinea pig. I'm looking at some of the images here. And it's
You're brave. I don't know that I could.
Well, I was gonna put one on stream, but I don't think I will. It looks like somebody hit a guinea pig with a hammer and then breaded it and fried it and then put it on a plate. So you can see all its feet, its ears, its eye sockets. Yeah. You know what? If you want to look it up, look it up. But I mean, we do this with chickens, right? But not the head.
It's true. Yeah, it's true. I mean, it's horrible.
You can see the body shape and stuff.
We're like the worst animal ourselves.
Yeah. So here's a question: would you eat a guinea pig?
I don't know. If I was there and someone was saying like this is a delicacy and you should really do this, we'd like to take you to our favorite guinea pig eating restaurant. I'd give it a go. I'd give it a go. Yeah. You?
Absolutely.
Oh yeah. You'd get it with all the sauces.
Well, I mean, when in Peru,
Yeah.
you have to try it. Like, what if it's the most delicious thing ever? Like, look,
Yeah.
we eat lamb and
Yeah.
stuff like that. So,
Yep. It's true.
so yes, I would. I mean, some of these do not look appetizing. I gotta tell you, and some of them do. So,
Yeah.
you know, I guess if you're a meat eater,
Yeah.
I think I draw the line at dog, though. I don't know if I.
Oh
would...
God, I could no. You can't put pets in front of me. I know it doesn't matter, but it does. I mean, they all should count.
Yeah, I'm. Yeah,
I struggle with it a little. I didn't used to, but I do now. Because it was more of that. It's like when you were like, "Would you have the guinea pig?" I'm like, oh, I don't need it. You know, I can get by without it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and I wouldn't go seek it out. Like, it's not like tomorrow I'm gonna be going down to the pet store and being like, "Hey, do you have 7 guinea pigs? I'm trying to have a barbecue next week."
Right. Ooh. That'd be horrible.
Well, I looked away for 1 second, not 1 second, because I was looking at the guinea pigs. I look back, you've done it.
It's coming along, yeah.
I like we were talking about math earlier. There's a lot of nice lines in this and angles, like you were saying from the photo.
Thank
I
you.
like the wispy tree you've made as well.
Yeah, it's just, I mean, at this stage, it's all sketchy. You know, you're just kind of figuring it out. Does this make sense? Does this feel good? You don't want to get too invested because if the client doesn't like it, then you can start over.
Yeah, so you were saying you like to involve your clients and sort of like give them insight throughout the process.
Absolutely.
You find that helpful?
It's super helpful. I mean, because, you know, you kind of have to interview them and understand what their motivation is. Like, why do you want this? Who's gonna be looking at it? Who's it for? What's important to that person, and what do you want them to leave with? Like, what's that feeling you want them to have when they look at it? Is it, you know, in this case, is it nostalgia, or is it like, oh, I miss home, or it's like, oh, those were great days, but I'm glad I'm not there anymore. Like, I don't know, but that's kind of questions I would ask to kind of get an understanding for the tone, and that really, for me, helps a lot with like color choices. So, because you're always using like color theory to kind of evoke an emotion as well, because they're tied, right? Like certain color patterns create certain feelings, and you know that's well documented, and it's certainly a science. So it's, you know, kind of pulling that as well.
Absolutely a science. Color itself is, you know, based on science.
Yeah.
Again, back to the mathematical connection to art. And, you know, wavelengths make colors, right?
Absolutely. Yep.
Very interesting stuff. I mean, it sounds like I've had too many Pisco Sours, but...
What's a Pisco Sour?
Pisco Sour is an alcoholic... See, I've had too many. Can't even say the word. It's an alcoholic cocktail of Peruvian origin.
Oh, okay.
Yep. It's kind of like the main alcohol is Pisco, obviously. Not obviously for some people that don't know, but it's a like a clear brandy.
Oh, yeah.
So it's made the same way brandy is from distilled grapes.
Oh, cool.
And then it's like a regular sour, like egg white, lemon juice, simple syrup.
I'm a sucker for a sour.
So am I. Oh my God. I love a good sour.
Yeah.
I even love a bad sour.
Yeah.
You know what it can't be though? It can't be a sour bar mix sour.
Well, that's not a sour. That's
yeah,
abomination.
It's
bullshit. That's bullshit is what that is.
It's an abomination. What is this abomination?
Yeah.
It is though. Like anything that it has to have the real juice in it of a real
And the real egg whites. You gotta have the real egg whites. Otherwise, it's just make believe.
Yeah, there's some like augmentations of sours that don't include egg whites, but and instead of simple syrup, you use like a sweeter liqueur. So one of my favorites and is based off the boxcar. I don't know if you know this.
Yeah.
Let me find exactly what's in it because I have bastardized it to no end. Yeah, so a boxcar, and I make mine with bourbon.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I like bourbon sour.
Is lemon juice.
Yeah.
Yeah, which is basically a bourbon sour, but with triple sec instead of simple syrup. Now, some people put simple syrup in this drink as well. I like my drinks a little less sweet, less sugar.
Yeah, you're not a big sugar fella.
I just don't think I need to. The problem is like I'm going to drink 6 of them, so I don't need to drink a bunch of sugar.
That's fair.
But I'd like to try this Pisco Sour. This sounds interesting.
Cool.
I do like brandy.
Where'd you meet her?
Peru. Are there any Peruvian actors that you know?
I don't, but they could be, and I just don't know.
Yeah, let's see. I'm gonna find out.
Okay.
We're moving into TV because we haven't talked about TV all night, and we're an hour in.
Why?
I'm a big fan of TV.
What's your hot show right now?
Right now, I'm rewatching 30 Rock.
Oh, with Alec Baldwin.
Alec Baldwin, Tina Fey, Tracy Morgan.
Yeah.
The guy that plays Kenneth Barzell. It's very well written. There's a lot of really good jokes in it.
Yeah, there was a while I wanted to be Alec Baldwin when I'm old. I don't know if I do anymore though.
Well, he had a rough go at times.
Yeah.
What was the thing? His daughter was filming him having a cheeseburger.
Maybe.
No, that was the other week.
What do you mean the other week?
That was David Hasselhoff.
Oh.
Wasn't it?
I don't know. I don't think we talked about it.
Yeah, Hasselhoff was like drunk eating a cheeseburger, and his daughter filmed him and put it on the internet.
We thought she was really funny.
Apparently, Alec Baldwin quit Twitter after Spanish wife scandal. All right, I don't care.
His wife Spanish? Maybe.
Well, I think that might be the scandal. Maybe they said she was and she's not. I don't know. I liked him. I thought he's a good actor, and he plays that role of that guy well.
Yeah.
But he's also really funny. Like they have him in a bunch of like other sketches, and the Saturday Night Lives that he was on were amazing.
Yeah. Yeah, sweaty balls.
Yeah, exactly.
Classic.
Is he's so he married Kim Basinger.
Way back though. They're not together anymore.
93 to 2002, so that's only 5 years.
How was that 5 years? Then that's why you're not an artist.
Look, I have never learned arithmetic. It's 9 years if you're curious. What I put it in the calculator.
That's a long time. It's a long time.
Yeah, I mean, it's a long time, especially for a celebrity wedding.
Fair.
Um, what have you been watching lately?
Nothing. I've just been busy AF. No. Um, like a movie here and there, but nothing TV wise. I'm actually just trying to think. I tried starting to watch Inhumans. I couldn't get past the first episode.
I don't know what that is.
It's like a Marvel show. It was on Disney Plus, so I thought I'd give it a go. But
Oh, okay. There's a new Marvel show on Disney Plus that just started that people are like, this is so bizarre.
WandaVision.
WandaVision.
It's great. Well, it's good. Actually, they're probably going out soon. So yeah, I kind of get the vibe that like he died in the movie, so I think she's trying to create alternate universes where they can be together, but things keep glitching, and I think that's what we're kind of seeing happen.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Because she's like super ass powerful, and can kind of create whatever.
Is this after it or before it?
After, yeah. From my understanding, it hasn't been spelled out yet, but
I think that's a very believable theory. Absolutely.
Yeah, it's kind of keeping her from going insane.
Who put this together? Let's see.
So it's done. This is my sketch anyway.
I'm gonna go back to the close up here.
So I just kind of worked in here, the little wall. I put in a silhouette of her mom there. Kind of just like play with the angles, and I could like tighten this up a bit more and kind of make it more dramatic, almost like as if it was a piece of paper and you kind of folded it to make the angles sharper. I'll kind of see how that looks, but this feels pretty good, and I've exaggerated like the front yard to almost like kind of curve down a bit here. But I was kind of playing off this round wall that's here that kind of has like, I don't know if it's barbed wire or spikes or something, but it's kind of got some protective gear on it. But I'm kind of playing with that to kind of round things out a bit, make it a bit more playful and whimsical and kind of loose. And this realized there's like this round thing on top of the house, so I kind of was like, well, there's so many sharp angles, I should play in some more roundness, and this kind of cut in the grass was actually there too, because there's like a little building, and I don't know if the building was maybe for the kids to wait for the school bus in. I'm not too sure, but it looked like a little shed, I guess. But it was open, so I'm not really sure what the purpose of it was. I'll have to ask. But I kind of had like a gravel part there, so yeah.
What's with so you're talking about how it's a lot of straight lines, a lot of angles, and so you're adding a little bit of flavor with some of these curved lines, and there's a curved thing on the right upper right corner. Is that somebody else's house? Yeah.
No, it's actually a concrete wall that's curved, because the next house is attached essentially, and it's got like spikes coming out of it down, so someone over there won't jump over.
Fair.
And I love this little like window here, because it's got like wooden, what do you call them?
Shutters?
Thank you. They're open shutters out here. But I like the fact
open or shut, man. Open or shut.
Yeah, I like that you have an option there. I think that's pretty cool. Yeah, that's that.
It's quite amazing to me that you can do that in however long that was, 17 minutes or something.
Oh, that long? Okay.
I don't know. I'm guessing. But like from nothing, and we all saw the photo that you showed us 17 or so minutes ago. I don't even think it was that long. Anyway, but it's just like you can just like do it, and then this like this tree on the right hand tree looks so cool. It's like half see-through, half not, which is what a tree would be.
Sure, depending on the time of year. Yeah.
Yeah, who knows? Anyway, I like it.
Thank you.
Thank you. Well done.
Thank you. Whoa.
Here to help.
So many people. Hey, everyone.
Some of these might be bots.
Oh, hey bots.
Yeah,
Thanks for stopping
actually,
by.
Betty Bot. I know that bot.
I like her a
That's our
lot. Actually, Betty Bot. It's a great name.
bot. So what are you thinking about working on next? Are you up for a little bit of a challenge?
Yeah. Okay, cool. What are you thinking?
Well, so we've spoken briefly about this.
Can I
About
use
maybe
paper?
trying to what?
Can I use paper? Is that okay?
Yeah, I would imagine it'd be
Okay.
like a sketchy thing.
Oh, okay, cool.
So I mean, it's up to you. You can use whatever you like. You're the artist. You know what? You have to use a chainsaw.
Oh, I got written downstairs like an extension cord. That's why everything's made of wood now. All my canvases. I just cut it in half.
No, I was thinking that. So we had briefly spoken about this before, where we'll try and come up with a character together.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Or you'll try and pull some like, what do you think about this? And we'll try and like maybe come up with something, even if it is some sort of Frankenstein's monster.
Okay. Yeah. I'm down.
Okay, I'm not exactly sure how this will go. Maybe what's the first thing, if you're gonna create a character? What's the first sort of attribute that you would need to know?
Mm-hmm. First thing, I kind of want to. Oh gosh, it's a lot. Because I was gonna say physically, the first thing I want to know is the chest cavity. What's that like? But if we're creating a character, I think that comes after. I want to know more. What's this character's disposition? Are they happy-go-lucky? Are they kind of a curmudgeon? Are they, what's their day-to-day tone?
Sure. Okay. So let's go with really, really, really dumb, but also really, really, really happy.
Okay, cool. So next thing I want to know is age. Because that'll determine like kind of weight, how they carry themselves, or that kind of thing. So this like a kid, a toddler, an infant, an old person, middle-aged person, someone who's in their young stage of life.
I'm not sure about specific age, but physically able and buoyant.
Buoyant is a great word. Okay, that's good to know. What kind of activities does this able-bodied, buoyant, happy, dumbass person or character? We're not gonna say person. Might not be a person yet. What kind of activities do they like to do?
I don't think it knows.
It's that dumb.
Like
Okay.
it's like anything is awesome. Everything is amazing. Look at that. Oh, that's a thing. I'll do that. What about this? Oh, like almost like did you see the movie Up?
I love the movie Up.
So
That
imagine the
dog.
dog, but dumb.
So Doug the dog.
But dumb. Because Doug was super smart and
He
then sort of
was.
scatterbrained a little bit, but he
Yeah.
was a super smart dog.
Yeah.
Him but dumb, like the first thing it sees, it's off to it, and then it's off to the next thing, and then the other thing, and then the next thing. So
Full of wonder.
Full of wonder, yes. Buoyant and full of wonder.
Okay. Now, my next question is this a person? Is it an animal? Or is it something not within either of those realms?
Yeah, can we be non-specific here? Can we maybe take a shape and anthropomorphize it later?
Yep.
Because I don't want to like assign it an animal You know, like I don't want to say it's human or it's a dolphin or it's a whale or
Okay.
you know, like I'm kind of thinking more like balloon,
Yeah.
or hollow cylinder, or
Totally. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Now, is this character big, little, medium?
I guess it depends on in relation to what.
Its sense of wonder.
Its sense of wonder is humongous.
Okay.
So it itself is probably small in comparison,
Mm-hmm.
but so let's make it. I guess we kind of have to figure out what sort of world it lives in, right? At this point, because like, what are we comparing its size to? Are we comparing its size to like, if it lived on a leaf, right? Then
Mm-hmm.
it would be small to us,
Yeah.
but big to a mite. You know, I don't know. That's a tough question. It's a
Okay.
good question, though.
All right. Well, let's go with what we have. We'll start there.
Okay. I'm trying to think of like maybe like what sort of atmosphere it would be in. Also, I'm wondering if it's an individual or if it's a bunch of things.
Mm-hmm.
And if it's a bunch of things, you have to sort of think of like, well, what are the discerning factors between them? Like, are they a bunch of things that can be different shapes, or are they all the same shape?
Mm-hmm.
Man, there's a lot of questions when you're trying to come up with a character.
It really is.
I'm open to input on this too. Like if you're like, I think it should be a spiky ball that makes you sick and kills thousands and thousands of people.
Mm-hmm.
You know, we could draw the coronavirus. That's
Okay.
something that people do.
Call him Rona.
Oh, Rona. Would you like a piece of wood or should I kill you?
So I'm feeling like bouncy a little. Oh, bouncy.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. Bouncy, buoyant,
Yeah.
beautiful,
And big,
bodacious.
big chested, but not like breasts. Just like proud. You know?
Barrel chested.
Yeah, that's it.
Lots of B words floating around here.
A lot of alliteration.
Bombastic.
Ooh, that's a song from the 90s.
Bombastic?
Yeah.
What is it? What's the song?
I'm gonna have to look it up.
I have the dictionary that says high sounding but with little meaning. Inflated.
Oh. Yeah.
Shaggy.
It was Shaggy, thank you. Mr. Boombastic, wasn't it?
Yeah, maybe. Didn't listen to a lot of Shaggy back in the day.
Oh, okay.
People also search for turgid.
Oh.
I don't know that word. Do you know that word?
No, it sounds dirty.
Excessively embellished in style or language. Turgid.
This is how I'm feeling right now based on this. So I feel like
Okay.
pretty, like, kind of like walking away, and then like, whoa, what's over there?
Okay, I like it. Do they have
Okay.
legs or is that no legs?
Stubbly legs, short little bouncy stubbly legs, and kind of like longish,
okay.
big arms. But
Okay, let me ask you a question.
totally, yeah.
Is it too late to add more arms?
No, it's a great time to add more arms.
We add? Okay, can we? Okay, so here's another question.
Okay.
If we were to add one more arm, where would you put it?
Where would you want one more arm?
I don't know. I mean, this is the thing. Is like, oh, I could see where 2 more arms would go. I could see where 4 more arms would go, but 1 and 3, I don't know where I would put those.
I might right up here and have it scratching the head.
That's awesome.
Yeah. All right. How's that feel?
Like a permanent head scratcher.
Kinda.
Which makes sense because they're dumb as mud.
Yeah.
Like it's the one arm is sort of like the driving factor. Hey man, get your shit together.
Exactly.
Figure out where we're going.
Yeah. So I'm thinking this character's got some big eyes, wandering eyes.
Yes, that makes sense to me.
And like kind of a slack jaw, but a really happy one. And I kind of like your idea of like, is it a ball with spikes? I kind of like that for the head.
Well, I like his eyes.
Oh, good. But I want variation in the spikes. I don't want them all to be the same size.
He looks so happy.
That's the whole point.
Mm-hmm. It's like, there's nothing wrong. What's going on?
Everything is awesome.
Oh, did you like that movie?
Yeah, I did. Yeah. I like yeah, I like that. I like Tegan and Sarah too, so I think they did a good job there.
Were they in that movie?
That's their song.
Oh, they wrote that song?
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
Good for them.
Oh yeah.
No. Sean Patterson.
He wrote it?
Yeah, it was written by Sean Patterson, Joe Lee, and The Lonely Island, who, by the way, are Andy Samberg, Akiva Schaffer, and Jorna Takun.
Oh,
the
yeah,
Lonely
yeah.
Island guys.
Yeah.
The I'm on a boat dudes.
Yeah, I kind of knew that because I remember at the Oscars, well, Tegan and Sarah performed it, and then they kind of performed it with them. But I didn't realize that they had wrote it. I thought Tegan and Sarah did.
Interesting. Man, that guy is super talented, eh? Andy Samberg.
He does a lot. I like that. I like that Brooklyn Nine-Nine.
Okay, I thought you were using. Yeah, he does a lot as like a way to dodge that. It's like I hate that guy.
No,
He's awesome, eh? No, he does a lot.
He's always busy.
He's always busy. It's like when my mom would give me that meal. It's like, is it good? I'm like, well, it's very gray.
And it tastes just like raw.
Yeah, it was performed by Tegan and Sarah.
Gotcha. Okay.
They're Canadian.
They sure are. Well, they sure were. I don't know if they still are.
Yeah, they. I don't know if they still live in Canada. They're from Calgary, though.
Oh, that's unfortunate.
Not a fan of Calgary?
I am not. I am not at all. I went there with no hopes and no dreams, but went to check it out to see if it was a place that I could be.
Yeah.
Hard, no.
I went to Kananaskis.
Mm-hmm.
I followed a girl to Kananaskis, and that was a disaster.
Was
And-
that Brandy?
No, if only. And so I ended up in Banff for a while.
Oh yeah, I like Banff.
I like Banff too. It's very enjoyable. And then of course the closest big city is Calgary.
Right.
So I have spent some time there, and we've played a couple of shows there.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, it's not great.
Oh,
There's nothing in Calgary that made me go, oh, I can't wait to get back to Calgary.
Yeah.
You know, there's something in Toronto that's like that. Montreal is absolutely like that. There's a ton of cities that I've been to that I'm like, I can't wait to go back. I'm gonna go here and do this and do that, but there's nothing there.
No.
Also, I think the shows that we had were weird. Like it just was a weird bunch of nights in Calgary. And when I was there, when I was just traveling around and there, because it was close to Banff, it was like going into the city to buy stuff to head back. It wasn't like spending time in the city, going to the restaurants and enjoying the culture, so to speak.
Right, because there is none.
There is. It's the Stampede.
Is it? I don't know. I wasn't there for Stampede. I'm not being a shit. I just honestly don't know.
Well, Stampede is huge, right? Like that's a huge festival with
See, for me, it just feels
stuff going on.
Kind of just feels like the exhibition to me. But maybe it's not. Maybe it's amazing.
Well, I mean, look, I'm not super into rodeos.
Well, I find them kind of mean. They're like mean to the animals.
Yeah, they're not. Yeah. I mean, I think for that sort of culture, if you grew up in that sort of culture, then that sort of thing makes a ton of sense. It's the pageantry is there.
Well, I like the pageant. Don't get me wrong.
Sportification of that sort of job, right? Which is ranching, and it makes sense to be celebrated. Also, did you know this fine fact?
Probably not.
One of Canada's signature drinks was invented in Calgary, and the drink you wouldn't think is invented in a landlocked place.
Oh.
Can you guess the drink?
No, I can't. Because now you're gonna be thinking of shitty. Like, it's not a cider. Is it like a cocktail? You mean?
Mm-hmm.
No, enlighten me.
The Caesar.
Oh, that is very bizarre. Because where do you get clam juice there?
Exactly. Like it seems like a Caesar would be invented on the West Coast or East Coast, not in landlocked Alberta in Calgary. But there was a bar owner in Calgary that created the Caesar. Let me find the specifics so that I'm not.
Were they originally from Newfoundland or something?
Lying to everybody. The Caesar was invented in 1969 by restaurant manager Walter Chell, or Sell, depending on how you say it.
Yeah.
Of the Calgary Inn.
Oh, okay.
He devised the cocktail after being tasked to create a signature drink for the Calgary Inn's new Italian restaurant.
Oh, okay. That makes sense.
And I think he muddled clams from the kitchen and basically then made a Bloody Mary.
Cool.
But like, where did Mott's come from?
That's what I was just thinking.
It's like somebody was like, oh my God, that drink is delicious. Let's make a whole company around it.
Yeah. Maybe that was his next venture. He made a clam juice company.
Okay, here we go. You want to know? Because I know now. I went to Wikipedia, and Wikipedia told me. The original cocktail, vodka seasoned with tomato and clam juice, made its debut. No, that's not right. Oh, sorry. Okay, the Caesar wasn't invented in 53, but vodka with tomato juice and clam juice made its debut at a nightclub in Manhattan in 1953.
Oh, okay.
Introduced as a Smirnoff Smiler. Oh, that's a horrible name.
Well,
I don't like it.
it could be a different drink now, though.
1959, cartoonist and creator of the Addams Family, Charles Addams, claimed he invented the Gravel Gertie, a cocktail of clam tomato juice and vodka, seasoned with Tabasco sauce.
Oh,
There's
okay.
a lot of claims to the Caesar here.
I think I like a little horseradish.
Oh, so do I.
Yeah.
In 1968, Seagram president Victor Fischel and Mott's Clamato marketer Ray Anrig claimed to have invented the seasoned tomato clam vodka cocktail, the Clam Digger. See, that's a good name.
Yeah.
In Manhattan. Filed a trademark on the name Clam Digger, claiming first use in 1968.
Mm-hmm.
At the end of 1969, Seagram's and Mott's ran a major advertising promotion of the Clam Digger cocktail recipe in national magazines. The Caesar was invented in 1969, which is sort of around the same time as they were putting all that stuff in the magazines.
Yeah.
Calgary, Alberta. Calgary Inn, Italian restaurant, mixed vodka with clam and tomato juice, Worcestershire sauce, and other spices. So this is sort of where it gets its blah, 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 creating a drink similar to Bloody Mary with a unique spicy flavor and clam flavor, obviously.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Wow, that's cool.
His Italian ancestry led him to call the drink a Caesar and the longer name of Bloody Caesar, which is right. Chell said that there was a regular patron at the bar that served as the inspiration. One regular customer who often ordered the drink said, "Walter, that's a damn good Bloody Caesar," because he was English. He was an Englishman.
Mm-hmm.
Although, wasn't Bloody Mary already a thing?
I think so. I mean, there was Typhoid Mary, but that was a different story.
So let's see. Clamato was made a mixture of clam and tomato juices at the same time as the Caesar was invented. Mott sold 500 cases of Clamato in 1970, which is not very much. But sales consistently increased after the company distributors discovered Chell's drink. By 1994, 70% of Mott's Clamato's sales in Canada were to mixed Caesars.
Oh, yeah. No doubt.
No doubt. The only other reason is if you're really short on salt.
Yeah. Like electrolytes and stuff?
You need a good influx of salt in your diet.
Yeah.
There's so much salt. See, the Caesar is a popular hangover cure.
Yeah.
Yeah, interesting.
All right, Shane.
Bots holds up. Well, always looking good. I like reading stuff and then looking back because you get so far with it while I talk about stupid shit like the Caesar.
So
I like him.
Is it a him?
I don't know. I like it.
Yeah.
I like his big. I guess it's a him. I keep calling it a him and his. I like his big fluffy hand.
Yeah.
his right big fluffy hand.
It's kind of like that. My pet monster. Now that I look at it.
Butt cheeks.
Oh yeah, we're gonna show all happies. It's like, what's over here? Clench. Look. Oh.
Oh, that's great. That's fantastic. Good job, man. Good
We need
job.
a name. We need a name.
Ooh, that's gonna be tough. Oh, what was that? What was that thing? Turgid.
Spell
Turgid. Swollen and distended. Tediously pompous or bombastic. Yeah. That's how we got there.
it. Love it. Turgid, that's a great name.
Tediously pompous or bombastic.
Love it.
Good job, Doug.
Thank you, Shane. That was fun. I like that. I enjoyed creating Turgid. Maybe we'll just like start creating a whole slew of characters.
Well, and what's cool about Twitch, and there's ways that we can incorporate these little bastards into the stream.
Yeah, totally. That's great.
Once we get affiliated, they can be our emotes.
I love it. Maybe we can like have a little like butt cheek punch. Just be like whipping his hair around, be like, "Hey, girl, what's up?
What's happening? What's up, buddy?"
So how are we feeling?
I feel good. I feel pretty content, actually.
Good.
How are you feeling?
Good. I'm ready for whatever's next.
Well, I don't have anything specific. We could end the stream here. We could try and find something to chit chat about. Is there anything specific that you have done in the past week, or?
One thing did come up, and I feel really bad about it, because I like to be on top of things. It's really funny. So a girl I actually went to all school with her, so like elementary school, junior high, high school, reached out and was asking, hey, I don't know if you like to work this way, really like what you're creating these days. Haven't been in touch for a while. It's like, my parents' anniversary is coming up. Would love for you to create something for them, just where they know you. Well, great sentiment, loved it. And I said, sure. And she wanted to know, like, would you work from photographs? I'm like, oh, actually, I use photo reference a lot, just for, depending on what the story is. Though, Facebook page manager changed, and I don't recall when, so it's a different system. Lo and behold, she wrote this back in October, and I saw it today for the first time. So I wrote back and said, hey, sorry, I'm just getting this now. Didn't realize the switch. Maybe it wasn't the switch. Maybe I just missed it. Totally apologize. I hope your parents had an amazing anniversary. But to answer your questions, yes, I do work from photos. So, I felt so bad that I hadn't connected with Rebecca, because she's probably like, I gave this guy a compliment and he didn't really ever wrote me back. So,
Really,
it's
I've
one thing to learn. Sorry?
I was just gonna say I've had a similar experience with the way that the messenger works, and it was hiding messages from people that aren't your friends.
Right, exactly. That's exactly what happened.
Putting them somewhere else.
Yeah.
And it's like it doesn't notify you. There's no notification. Like, you don't know.
No, how else are they gonna get a hold of you? So that was kind of frustrating, because it was like through our business page, like Facebook page. So it wasn't like it was my personal contact. So I was like, this kind of sucks.
Mm-hmm.
And now they've matched Instagram and Facebook chats all together on one thing. So it's like, obviously there's an icon there to let you know which one it came from, but I had realized I missed a few. It's kind of felt bad, because I always feel like I'm trying to be pretty responsive and accessible. So I was like, ooh, October is that was a while ago. So.
Oh, they've mashed up these. Like, I can't even hit Facebook Messenger.
No.
It just takes me to a new.
Exactly.
Did you happen to see the so WhatsApp is owned by Facebook and
Yeah.
Instagram, and
Mhm.
over the last week, so WhatsApp used to be a secure messaging platform, right, where they don't share information and blah blah blah. And what they said basically was that they're going to share your user information up the chain to Facebook. So you could have a WhatsApp account without Facebook,
Right.
and now they're going to share your user data. And so what that caused obviously was a mass exodus from WhatsApp. So Signal and Telegram, which are secure messaging platforms, got a huge influx of people.
Hmm.
It's interesting tech news over the last week.
Let me write that down. What was the other one? Signal and who?
Telegram.
Mm-hmm.
So I've tried both so I had a WhatsApp group with a couple of friends, and we used it quite often. And then when we heard that, it's like, well, the whole reason why we had a WhatsApp instead of a Facebook thing was because of the whole sharing of data and manipulation of your user data to sell you ads. So we tried Signal first because everything's encrypted, end-to-end encryption, which is good because
Okay.
all your messages are basically secret at that point. And then we tried Telegram because it's the same thing, and Telegram kind of feels a little bit more like they have a desktop version that you can link with your phone and do
Okay.
both of them do, but like it seems like there's more of the same WhatsApp thing where you can share images and blah blah blah. But either of those are good alternatives to WhatsApp because they don't share any information and they encrypt end to end your data.
Oh, good to know.
Good.
Shane works for Telegram. No, he doesn't.
If only. Well, you know what? If Telegram wants to pay me, I'm here to to sell your platform.
You're here to work.
I'm here to be the thing that you want me to be.
All right. I think I'm ready for some supper.
All right, I think we'll call it here. Thank you so much for hanging out, everybody. It was
Thanks for stopping
nice
by.
to see y'all.
Yeah.
We'll be back next week with more.
Absolutely. More in the studio, more art, more Shane, more fun facts. We're going to play some different games. We're going to draw some new stuff. And if there's anything that you need created, let us know. We'll give it a go.
Absolutely. Drop in. Say hello.
Yeah.
Have a good night.
Good night, everybody. Thanks for hanging out.
Good night, Doug.